Good evening and welcome everybody to another edition of the Music and Mixing Show. I'm DJ Michael Joseph, your host. And tonight we are going to be talking about Virtual DJ, which we do quite often here, but we're also going to be talking about some special things within Virtual DJ. I have 3 topics that I'm going to hit tonight, and it should be pretty good. Those who are watching this on demand, I usually take about a couple of minutes at the beginning to welcome everybody in the chat, see who's all in, and then we get started. So if you're watching this on demand, you can just zip forward a little bit. Definitely want to say hello to everyone who's in the chat. I also like to see where you're from if you're new, especially if you're new here, because we get a lot of people internationally on watching this show, and I kind of like to see where everybody's from. So if you're from somewhere other than here, wherever I am, definitely put that in there. Mikey Mike, hello. Fly Robin, hello. John Colley, hello. Gus, what's going on? How are you? Mohammed, did I say that right? I am so bad with that. If somebody watching on Facebook, it didn't come up who you were. Edward, hello. How are you? From La Jolla, California. Facebook user is from Vegas. Robin's from O-Town. DJ Eric, what's going on? How are you? I think tonight's going to be good because we are actually going to be, if you watched the show that was right before this, Steve, what's going on, buddy? How are you? Howie and the guys in the DJ NTV Insiders area talked a little bit about song bitrate stuff, and I'm going to talk a little bit about that too, but in a little different way, and I'm probably going to disagree with everything they said, but we'll see by the end of the show, so there you go. Michael Hartman, what's going on? How are you? Green Mountain Falls, what's up? DJ Wiki. Oh, lots of great people tuning in tonight. Thank you so much. Appreciate this. Like I said, we take a couple minutes at the top of the hour, welcome everybody in, do shout-outs, and then we start. And like I said, I have some cool stuff that I want to talk about tonight, and then as we go on, I will take your questions. So we're going to kind of leave the questions till a little bit later. But just want to welcome everybody. Sorry, I just break into song from time to time. Quicks from Kentucky. So welcome. Like I said, by the end of the show, we usually get some international viewers. We had last month's show. I know I've only been doing this once a month, but last month's show, we had like 2,000 views. And to have in my opinion, just to some YouTubers, that's not a lot. But in my opinion, I'm doing an hour-long show. It's a one-camera show of just me, an hour long on one specific hardware to get 2,000 people to watch that. I think it's pretty good. We still have not gotten sponsored by Virtual DJ. We're still trying. If anybody out there is watching from Virtual DJ, let's talk. All that kind of stuff. So just a couple more hellos, and then we will jump right into the topics for tonight. Like I said, I have some stuff that I want to talk about tonight. We're going to share Virtual DJ and some other things that's going on right now that I think are kind of fun and important. And all that kind of their stuff. Let's see now. Anybody else in the chat join in? We are on 11 of 12 places tonight. I believe it or not, of all the places, I think it's my channel that didn't pick up my YouTube Facebook page broadcasting. This is the one I think that didn't go to out of all of them. So we're definitely going to get in here and get that running tonight. So we are at that point where I definitely want to kind of jump in here on this stuff. And tonight I want to talk about 3 things. The first one is bit rates and tools that Virtual DJ uses for bit rates. We're going to talk about those and songs and different things like that. We're going to talk about streaming music through Virtual DJ, and we're going to talk about a couple new controllers one new controller out there, and a couple that are now working with Virtual DJ. So that's the way I kind of want to do that. So at the top of the hour, I want to talk about song bit rates. And here's a thing that everybody argues over. And first thing I need to preface this with is that you have to understand that most people, and I mean the majority, do not listen to music the way that DJs do or the way that sound guys do. They just don't hear everything. A story I always like to tell is I was watching a documentary years ago that was about rap music, and it was being hosted by Ice-T. And he was in he had all these different artists, old and new, that were on there that he was talking to and interviewing about the music scene and all this. And he was standing in Salt from Salt and Peppa's kitchen talking about stuff because they kind of, came through at about the same time. And Ice-T said, man, I was riding in my car the other day and this song came on and it was horrible. It was terrible. It's so bad I nearly wrecked my car. And he said, I looked to my wife and I said, man, this is so terrible. And you know what she said? She said, oh, I really don't listen to the lyrics. I only listen to the beat. Keep that in mind. Salt looked back at Ice-T and goes, my husband said the same thing. So these are two people who are artists, lyricists, vocalists, who their own spouses would rather hear the beat than the lyrics. So as we as DJs hear things, you have to keep in mind the same way that the people standing in front of us don't. They just don't. You could tell them they're wrong, and it doesn't matter. Eric Newberg said, where's your video? You're not seeing me tonight, or? Am I on? Are you not seeing me? Are you talking about something else? Get back to me in the chat. Make sure this is flowing through there. I didn't even check anything else. Let me know in the chat. I'm going to try to jump over to YouTube and see if I'm there. You might get the volume on for a second, so I apologize about that. I'm actually going to mute me for 1 second here while I do this. Not sure what that is, where you're asking about the video, because it's there. But anyways, I kind of... I don't know where you're watching, Eric. Like I said, I just switched over to YouTube and it's fine. But the thing is they just don't listen to things the way that we do. So if we talk about that I only play high quality music files, I would bet my entire career that you could, out of 100 people standing in front of you, you couldn't find 5 that care. Give a flying crap about the quality of the music. What they want to hear is their song, and more importantly, when they want to hear it. That's the more important thing, when they get to hear what they want to hear. So with that all taken a look at, I want to take a look at bit rates, because Monday night we were talking about songs and where to find them now that some of the services like iTunes and Amazon, which some people download music from there to DJ with, those services are not letting some of the newer Macs actually play those songs through anything other but Macintosh software. So if you have Virtual, if you have Serato or Rekordbox, those songs that you get from Apple Music can't be played through those DJ softwares on the way they have it set up. So we were talking about where do people get their music from, and I made a joke about YouTube, and then it became this whole thing about music downloading and the crap versions and blah, 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 and I just kind of wanted to face that straight up tonight. So today, I went and got a program called Spec, S-P-E-K, and there's also one out there called Fakin' the Funk, and basically it tests your files for what bit rate they are, okay? Because Virtual has a plug-in there that I'm going to talk about that also tells you the bit rate. And I kind of always wondered, is it something that you can fake in there and put a fake bit rate, or does Virtual actually read what the actual bit rate of that file is? And I found today that it is correct, and I want to show you a couple here. We're going to switch over screens here. Keep in mind that we are going to ask some questions later, so we will have open question here in a bit, but I want to talk about these because I think this is kind of important. Let me move me over here. I think I'm going to zoom in so you guys can see this a little bit better. I'm going to move this here, grab the background. All right, so in Virtual, there is, if you go to, I'm going to have to move this again. If you go into Virtual here and then go to Extensions, Extensions is where you get your downloads. And you go into Other and Other Sort, is it Other Sort? There it is. It's database files. And they have a thing called My Library. And they have it in all different languages. And I have it installed in mine. So what this basically does, in case you don't know, and if you already know, I apologize. What this is it makes an entire library of crates from all of your music based on everything about it. The stuff that's in the tags, reading the bit rate, everything. And you just, if you don't have it, just install it. Click the button there, install it. Mine is there. So what we're going to do is we're going to go over to mine now and take a look at it. So if we go here, this is my library file. And I open it. And let me move this up so you can see a little bit better there. It's the bottom of the program. But it has everything in there. So all of these are different things in your library that it has now compartmentalized into playlists. And that includes BPM, and you have similars and stuff like that, and we'll put them in those genres there. Keys, if you want to see stuff in different keys. Titles, albums, but there is a folder called Extra. I think it's under Extras. No, it's under, I always forget what it's under. Is it Database? Yeah, under Database, and then Tools, and it gives you different things for fixing songs. So files missing, not scanned, no artist in the file's name, no title, blah, blah, blah. And one of them they have there is low bit rate. And if you click on it, it then opens up songs that are considered a low bit rate. This song right here, I have been playing for years. And if you would have asked me or anyone who has ever heard this song played in top quality speakers in a club, in anything, I'm not talking minuscule quality, I'm talking big quality speakers, sound systems, you would not know what this is. You would say, oh, it sounds fine, because I've played it in everywhere for years and it's fine. But if you right click on it and go to tag editor, it will tell you the bit rate is 96. No, not 192, 96. And I have played it everywhere. So my thought was, is this incorrect? Did Virtual get that wrong? Because it sounded good. So I went and got the spec program, ran that song through the spec program, and it is, in fact, 96 kilobytes. And if I didn't tell you, you wouldn't know that. And no one, after I told you, would care what it is. So there is files out there in lower bit rate that are recorded in good quality, because the bit rate takes away certain tones. So you're still getting a full tone range on a lower bit rate, but you're only losing a little bit. And I mean a little bit. And what it does is, this is where people have the problem with it, is that it fills in those spots with a noise sound. Some people call it white noise, but it's not really a white noise. But it fills in those quiet spots. And especially in a variable bitrate song, where that bitrate rises and lowers as it goes along. So parts where the song's banging, you're going to have a higher bitrate. And when there's not so much sound being pushed through and that wave file that you see on your screen shrinks down, that's where the bitrate goes down. And that is done nothing more than to save space. Same with MP3s, why they were created, to save space. So I challenge people that if you are that pressed that you think it has to be a high bit rate, I will challenge you with my entire career that I could sit there and play 5 files, 2 high bit rate, 2 low bit rate, 1 average, and 99% of people could not tell the difference, and 100% of people wouldn't care. So I kind of want to lay that out before we get into anything else. But if you want to test some of your files, all you have to do is go online and search for SPEK is what it is. And if I can find it here real quick, I'll bring it up and show it to you what it does. Because it's under a thing there. Where's it at? Spec app. Open up Spec app. I opened it twice. All right, I opened it actually several times because I clicked too many times there. All right, so this is the Spec app right here. And if we go get a song, so I go File. I'm going to look where this one's at, because this one tells me where it's at right here. And it is in my 70s music folder, which isn't a very creative place to be putting a remix, but that's where it's at. File, Open. I'm going to go into the D drive on the studio computer, DJ Music, 70s, and we're going to go down to Michael Jackson, and we're going to be looking for, passed it up there, this version. Click on it, it analyzes it, and it sure is 96 BPM. But again, you can see how much space is taken away from there in the tones. It's a lot missing from there compared to other songs. I'm going to go in now and I'm going to find one of the newer ones that I've downloaded. One of the newer ones that I've downloaded from BPM Supreme. And we're going to go to here. And this does not have the most updated music, but we're going to go into here. And I'm going to pick the Imagine Dragon ones. This was downloaded from BPM Supreme. Click on it. And you have a much higher. That's a 320. And you can see the difference. But when it comes to your ear, most people don't care. You can care. I don't have a problem with you caring. If you want all your stuff to be high quality, I'm perfectly okay with that. You run your library and your business however you want. But in that same sense, you can't tell me that it matters. Some files that you have, I bet I have 320 files in here that sound terrible. So it's more than just the bit rate. Bit rate is part of it. And if you are listening specifically for things, yes, you are going to tell the difference. But for me, when I'm DJing to a crowd, and 99% of the clubs I've ever spun at, it's in mono. So first off, all that fancy stuff they do with stereo is gone. It's in mono. And the reason that is because we want everybody in the club to be in the same moment at the same time. We do not want them thinking, this song sounds great, the DJ sounds great. I want them to forget I'm there and just lose themselves in the music. And that's the purpose for that. But as you see these two, or actually I should point this way. There we go. That you can see that there is a different bit rate. But again, the show's about virtual DJ. So what I want to talk about is the fact that you can use that plugin to look at your bit rates and see where they're at. And I think you can do, if I'm correct here, and I can do bit rate on the drop down right here, and it will give me the bit rate right here. So that shows it as a 96. I have a 78 bit rate right there. A 64. Wow. That one I'm pretty sure I know is not good, but I don't care. There's a 48. Some of these, I'm pretty sure I know they're bad, and I skipped them, and I've gotten newer stuff. I'm almost positive, because I can look at some of these that are really low and go, I've gotten new ones. So, yeah. Mike says, why didn't you just click on the song and open song and open it in its folder? Virtual DJ does that for you. I have no idea what you're talking about. Like I said, here I'm looking at the way they are organized via the My Library plugin, and they've already put them there. So if I look at a song that, if I want to say that is no album cover, so these are all songs that don't have album covers. So it just is organizing. That's why I'm doing it. This is Virtual DJ, and that's why I'm doing that. But if you do want to check this stuff, it's right there within Virtual DJ. So I wanted to talk about the bit rates, and I also wanted to talk about the tool of My Library where you can go and look at the bit rates. Another thing that was brought up on Monday Night Show, Dan was talking about Virtual DJ's streaming online stuff. And I just want to cover this again, that they have the most places to stream music from, and I will again show you this tonight, the different things that they have. But you can do Virtual DJ used to have a thing called Content Unlimited, and basically it was audio, video, and karaoke files that you can stream, and they still have it. You can subscribe to 1, 2, or 3, whichever ones you want to do. iDJ Pool is the audio, and I really like it because when new songs come out, they have stuff that other download services don't. So if a song debuts on the chart today and I need to play it tonight, I can almost always find stuff here. And the other cool thing is, let me go up to here. The other cool thing is that it gives us the versions. So if you need a clean quick mix, it's there. Yeah, Mike, I wasn't trying to go to the folder. What I was doing was I was showing it in the other program, in that spec. So I needed to open it in spec, not in virtual. That's why I did it that way. But basically here, that's why I like them. But also they have curated folders that talk about the latest releases and stuff like that. So you have access to a lot of this stuff that you're able to just drag and drop. And all of these that are in the iDJ pool, you can right-click, you can't make sure that's in the screen there. You can right click. Where is it at there? Where is it at? I'm missing it. Download to cache. So you can download this to play offline. And you, with iDJ Pool, what you can download and offline, we'll just call it offline. Offline is unlimited. You are not limited to any amount. All you have to do is have the program, the computer that you're on, go online at least once a month or every 30 days or however that works within the subscription period to show that you still have a subscription, and then you can keep playing it. So you can go online to get the song, put it in the other one, and then not have your computer go online for a month, and you can still play it online all the time. Once you download it, you can right-click on it, tag editor, and you can edit stuff that will stay permanently. You can change the genre, everything you want here, and it will stay inside of your stuff. You can then add cue points to it, and they will stay there. So it is, as long as you keep subscribing to that, and if I'm correct, it holds the information in your file. So if you stop subscribing for like a month, months, and then come back to it, that data of that file is still kept. So months later, you're still going to have the cue points you put into it and anything you changed in the genre, if you added album art or anything like that. Because this right here, I'm online, and this has no album art, and because I'm online with this computer, I can click on here and find different things and search through and try to find something that I want to make the album art. And let's make that the album art, save the tag, and now it's in part of that tag. And if I load it, it will show it in there. Like I said, I am the first to tell you to curate a music library. Do not rely on this. But I fall back on this whenever I need something, and it's that quick. It is so easy to do that. And also, I can go look at my history within Virtual, and anything played will be shown as a green dot in the play thing, and I know that file was played in the list of songs I played, was played from online. So if I go back, I can see what I played from online and go, yeah, I need to download this, and then I can go download it. But the cool thing between that, so you have iDJ Pool with all of that. You have the VDJ Pro, which is video stuff. You have DigiTracks, which is karaoke, that all operate the same way. Now we move into other ones that aren't associated with Virtual DJ, and that's Deezer. I also subscribe to Deezer, so I put $20 a month into these two, and for the reason is that Deezer has everything that Spotify does, like literally everything Spotify does. And you can play from here, so I can go in here and I can, again, search for Drake. I always pick Drake because it's like an easy thing to type. And you have all of them in here. But keep in mind, that is only an album version. And with Deezer, you have to be online to play it. So if I was offline, I could not drag this up here and have it load and play. I'll put it on the other side so you can see it. Playable that quick. You can't save it offline with these, but you can grab them. Like I said, there was times when somebody wanted something and I was able to grab it from here. There's almost no files I can't find over here. They're all here. So between those two, so again, going down the list, SoundCloud, Beat Port Link, Beat Source Link, Tidal also. And because it allows you to offline songs in a special place, you can also put them in a specific folder so that you can see where they're at. So that if you want to find which ones was I doing on there, they're there. And right now, apparently, it is updating my library. As you can see right there, it's renaming and stuff from the database online to offline. But those are the main things I wanted to talk about the streaming, so that you do have these abilities if you want. Ask how much is Deezer. Again, $9.99 a month for Deezer, same as Spotify, and you can listen to Deezer on your phone just like Spotify. There's an app and it operates the same. So I can have music there that I DJ with and go to my phone and play it the same way through the Deezer app, have lists like Spotify. Everything's identical, but this is tied into Virtual, so all I have to do is drag and drop. I don't have to do anything more than drag and drop. And those two together, again, are the ones where I have the download services that I pay for each month that I download songs that I want to download, like actual file copies. And then these two I pay a month that I can grab stuff when I'm out, just bang, bang, bang. Dan said I never did a video on this, and I looked, and I think I did 5 videos I counted, but I thought I'd want to cover it again because this is something I use on a regular basis. It has become a tool to me that in a pinch, somebody asked for something. I always tell this story because to me it's a funny story. I was at a college bar and somebody asked for Nickelback. I'm going to tell you, as a personal person, I ain't got no Nickelback, but I knew Nickelback would work so well there. And I'm like, I never thought of that here. Went right there, grabbed the Nickelback song, dragged it, played it next, and it was a hit. That's why. Not because, I'm going to rely on it, but there's those moments when you go, yes, this is what should be. Or if I have a short version of a song and I want the long version, I can go to the iDJ pool and pick a full version, or vice versa. Let's say I only have the long version. I'm like, well, I really want a short version with an intro and an outro because I want to come out of this song using the outro into another a cappella intro or something like that. And if you don't have it, you can go there and grab it and instantly, bam, be doing your thing. And I absolutely love that ability with this. So that was the second thing. And the third thing I want to talk about tonight before I do questions is that I want to talk about new controllers that now work with Virtual DJ. And some of them are kind of cool. Let me bring some stuff up here, move it around. The first one, you've probably never even heard of, but Tiesto has put out a controller. This was last year sometime, called the Next Beat. And I think it was actually close to 2020. And it's a basic controller. I don't really know the purpose. I mean, I think it was a company that he had, he built it himself. It's not like, this thing was put out by, Newmark or Denon or something with Tiesto's name on it. This is Tiesto's, and you have to go to Tiesto's site to purchase this. It's about $300. But this one was recently marked so that Virtual DJ works on it. The standalone that is put out by Newmark, and I'm going to try to get a copy of one of these, now works with Virtual DJ, and it'll even show Virtual DJ stuff on this screen. I want to get a hold of one of these to test that, run that, all that kind of stuff. I think it's good. And the other one is the brand new NFX, I'm sorry, I'm going to say this wrong, NS4FX. I always have to say that wrong. This is identical to the FX Platinum that they put out. I own the other one, the FX whatever it is. I own that one. I like it. And the reason I bought it is because this has the exact same layout as my Rain 1. So it's a tiny little controller that you don't necessarily need, it runs power off USB and stuff. But this is a new one they put out, and it is 4-channel. And the reasons I talk about 4-channel, and this is my last thing, and then we'll answer some questions, is that 4-channel in Virtual DJ gives you some advantages that 2-channel will not do. Okay, so if I'm here and I'm looking at the audio section, I can choose on Virtual. Let me zoom in here. Boop. I can choose on the high, mid, low what I want those high, mid, low to be. So I can do traditional high, mid, low. So that means that the channel I'm mixing on, those are high, mid, low. Or I can do stems to turn things on and off, vocal, instrument, beat. And these can, in the mixing now, because I use that Rain and it's 2-channel, I've learned to use only this right here. Vocal, instrument, beat. That's how I do my blending and mixes. I do not use high, mid, low, but I do have a switch mini map that all I have to do is tap it and it switches back to the high, mid, low. So I have both actions on a 2-channel. But if it's a 4-channel controller, like the NX4, oops, let me zoom in there. If I'm playing on the 2 inside channels here, these are my high, mid, low, and the outer channels control the vocal, instrument, and drums from this channel. So with the 4-channel, the advantage of it is that I can have both of those active live for the channels that I'm putting out. And if I activate those 2 outer channels to play music, it then takes those high, mid, lows and puts it back to being, it takes the stems on the outside and makes them high, mid, lows for just those channels. But if you're running in 2-channel mode, you then have all the buttons and stuff on the outside to use as stems or whatever you kind of want to set it at in Virtual DJ. So that's why when it comes to 4-channel, these kind of things I like. I went from the Denon 7000, which was a 4-channel, to the Rain 1, which is 2-channel, and that was something I had to adjust to, is the difference between them and having to rethink that process of me using both high, mid, low and the stems. So, like I said, I kind of always mix with stems now, but having the 4-channel gives you that option to do them at the same time. And that's a new one that, like I said, Newmark just came out with. It's the same as the other one that they had, except it's 4-channel now. I forget what's on the back. They did add some connections on the back, if I'm correct. All right, so you have main outs, XLR outs, USB outs, auxiliary in, and a mic. So I'm not sure if all those are on there. And this one, as opposed to the other one, like I said, because I have the other Newmark, I'll look at here in a second. It's my emergency backup that I take with me now. It runs power from USB. This one, you have to have an external power. As you can see oops, I'm not sharing there, sorry. As you can see right here, it requires a power thing. So the one that I have is, we're going to go back here, if I can find it. I have the Pro FX. And the 4-channel is basically a 4-channel of this Mixtrack Platinum FX. I have the Mixtrack Pro. Like I said, it's set up exactly like my Rain, and that's kind of why I chose that. So those are the things that I kind of wanted to talk about tonight. Like I said, it's stuff that people talk about and different things, and I just kind of I see DJing differently because I know I see things from a younger state of mind. I hang out with a lot of younger people, and people talk about, the digital age. It's just going to happen more and more. It's not going to be less. People aren't going to go off less of it. From a person who has a nice record collection, I don't have a big one because I got rid of all my records because I just didn't want them. I have a large CD collection that I've not touched in years. I have an even larger MP3 collection to DJ with. But aside from DJing, I never touch any of that. 100% of all audio I do is either on my computer streamed or on the phone streamed. Nothing else. Wirelessly to a set of headphones, because I do have the Pioneer XJ5 Bluetooths, so I Bluetooth to these. I have several different Bluetooth devices. This one's charging right now. So it's there. That's why people do it. People don't want more, they want less. That's why people will go to a convenience store and pay a whole lot for convenience, because it's convenient. So it's only going to go to more of this. You're going to see more programs like the Serato Pyro that mixes for itself. So in the future, these things in Spotify are going to pre-mix themselves automatically. People are going to curate lists in there that go, this list will mix on its own, and you can just let it mix, and people are going to listen to stuff like that. This next generation does not listen to music the way we do. Yes, you're going to say, oh yeah, but my cousin, my son, my whatever. Yeah, there's always the one-offs. But I'm talking, if you go to the average store, look at people there, 25 and under, what are they going to be interested in? That's just the way it goes. So I really think that's important to think about stuff like that as we move forward into the bitrate files. That's why I kind of want to tie all this together, the bitrate files, the streaming music, and all of this. This is a normal part of life and is going to continue to be a normal part of what we do. So at least start to find out about it, or you're going to find yourself at a gig and someone's going to ask for something and you're going to say, I can't do that, and then you won't get hired back again. Simple as that. You may think it's not that important, but you'd be surprised how people will be like, well, I have it right here on my phone. Why can't you do it? And you can say whatever you want to say, but people are going to look at that and go, well, he can't even get that. Me using the streaming services, I can get anything. I can get karaoke. I did a Sweet 16 a few years ago. End of the night, they're like, oh, there's only about 10 of us here. Can we do karaoke? And I'm like, well, I kind of have that, but I don't have a screen for the lyrics. And they said, well, that's okay. We'll do the lyrics on our phone. And I handed them a mic, went to online. What song do you want? Found the karaoke, drag and drop. They're holding the phone here, singing karaoke, and everybody is having a blast. That's what it's about, being able to give your customer what they want when they want it. Because again, back to the people DJing and standing in front of you when you're DJing, they care more about hearing the song they want to hear when they want to hear it more than the quality of the song that you're playing. And I'm not saying you play crap stuff and they'll be happy, but you can take a 320 or a 192 and no one's going to care. No one is going to care that you're playing a 320 versus a 192. They just want the song when they want the song. So those are the things that I think people need to focus more on than I got to have all my entire libraries this way. I got to have this. Focus on having the music they want, not the music you think they want, the music they want. So that's it for tonight. We're way over the half hour. I want to do the half hour of that and then the rest of it questions. So I will take questions from the chat room tonight if anybody's there. We have lots of people watching. Thank you all so much for tuning in. I know I should be doing this more than once a month, but right now this is all I'm able to pull together. So be patient with me. I got a lot going on right now. Trying to make some decisions what to do with my business in the future as the book is coming out, and I'm probably going to trend a lot of my life in that direction, and that'll be in the creative world and helping others and stuff like that. It's not going to be in the DJ world, even though the DJ world, I consider it my biggest part of my creative life right now. I will always consider it part of my creative life. But I'm trying to figure out how to balance this all out so that I can spend time Disc Jockey News covering these things, the shows with John and Dan, this, and then taking on the whole new life of the other thing. So be patient with me. All right, so questions in the chat here. Listen here. Steve says... Mikey Mag says that's why you need to know how to program music. Programming music's important, but this helps you get them. You can't program a song if you can't get the song. So that's what I'm kind of teaching you over here. But I think mixing is just important, that if you can have the song they want, when they want, the way they want, you win. Ain't nobody going to take your job if you can do that. Steve says, I'm watching you from YouTube on the PC and the phone here on Twitch. So... okay, twice. That's cool. How do I get my next song to play at the same volume as the primary other than matching the volumes on the headset before mixing? Okay, Kurt, I'm guessing that's a virtual DJ question. Clarify that for me, that it is there. But you're going to hate me for what I'm about to show you because people don't believe me. I never, ever, the whole night of DJing, ever touch my gain knobs. Not once. My volume knobs are always 100% up. I never touch any of that. I let virtual take care of the rest. And if I go into virtual here, I'm going to go here, left screen zoomed, open this up, and we're going to go into options, and we're going to go into type gain in, and then we have auto gain. And auto gain is auto and remember. And you have other choices there. No, auto gain, remember, which remembers if you change it to something, and an auto gain and remember. So auto gain and remember, basically when I load a song, it decides where that song is in comparison to all the other songs. So if this song is playing, and this song, like let's say we were listening to them outside of Virtual DJ, and this song's much quieter, when I load this song, it is automatically going to bump up, whoops, close. It's automatically going to bump up this gain knob right here on its own. I don't have to do anything. So I'm going to try to grab some from here. I'm going to go back into some older stuff and see if some of them jump up in there. And we're going to watch right here to see if this, right here, that's the gain knob. We're going to see if the gain jumps, and all I'm going to do is load a few of these and see if the gain jumps. We're going to jumps up or down. We're just going to keep loading until we find one that jumps up or down. There we go. You saw that one? That one moved it up automatically. So in your head, you're looking at it going, what can I do to make them match? If you're using Virtual DJ, you don't have to do anything. It does it for you. And like I said, we go to the next song, load it, and it's there, it moves it. And if I find another song that needs to be moved, we're just going to drag some, and some can be high, some can be low. Most are pretty much in the center. There we go. That one was too loud, so it bumped it backwards. So that's pretty much all I do all night long. I never touch the gain knobs. I never touch the volume. When I'm ready to play, it goes all the way up. So if both tracks are playing, both are all the way up. So there you go. Moving on here. Use the stems now for karaoke, cutting the vocal out completely so they can sing. It's your choice if you want to do that on the karaoke, because a karaoke song should have the vocal out of it. That's a karaoke song, one without the vocal. And then you have a karaoke song that has the lead vocal or an assist vocal, depending on what you want to call it. And that has some of the parts in there that help the person sing. You can use stems to do it that way if you want. Moving on down there, would use vocals karaoke. Kurt says, thank you. Absolutely. Oh, Virtual DJ question. I've noticed since last update there is a significant drop in loudness when I'm mixing in the middle, and then when return to normal levels when you mix out. again, are you using the auto gain? And remember, everything's in there. And also, are your volumes on linear as opposed to curved? Because if they're on curved, that's going to make different. Also, the curve on your center fader is going to make a difference. I'll come back to here. Sorry. Here we go. So if you don't have a perfectly linear up fader volume, it's curved, that's going to set stuff to be heavier and lighter depending on how you go. But if it's this way, it's going to be even. So if you're in the mix and you have both of them up and it's louder than it was before, you are not using some sort of auto gain. You are, I have no idea how it's that way. I've never had that problem with virtual. I'm guessing there is something in your system that is doing something to push it. I just have never have had that problem. I think there's a filter in there for loudness, if I'm correct. I'm going to go back here so you guys can see this. See, there's your fader curve, your dB, which is also there important. I don't think there is, because like I said, I've never had that problem. And I have all the updates. So I've done all these. Like every time, that's the other thing that I tell people is with this, this computer gets the early access updates, and then my DJ computer gets the standard access updates. So if I'm DJing tonight, a lot of times not day of. So if I get a warning today that they've updated, I won't update until after the gig. But everything's up to date. I'm not sure why it does that. I'd have to maybe take a closer look at your settings and different things like that. But also, what controller are you using on that? So I can't answer you more than that one. I don't have every single answer here. After a song's mixed out to the opposite deck, the other deck keeps spinning. Well, the other deck's going to keep spinning until you stop it. That's what it's going to do. In fact, that's what I think you're talking about there. I don't know. Please be as specific as you can in the questions so that I'm able to answer them. Again, everyone, you're awesome for hanging out with me. Open question night, whatever you want. Virtual DJ can ask about other things, all that kind of stuff. Appreciate y'all hanging out. Keep sharing this. Again, maybe we can get Virtual DJ sponsored so I can give away stuff to you guys. How do you copy that smart folder when transferring your library to a secondary computer? It's bought new computer and transferring my virtual DJ to the new computer, but my smart folders didn't copy. Here's the thing. If you're using Windows, it's different folders for Mac, obviously. Let me move this over here and share left screen. All right, so in the D drive is where my DJ music is. And in here also there is a virtual DJ folder. And it's going to have these. So here's the thing to remember. In virtual DJ, all of the information is kept within databases, okay? So in mine, I have all the music in the D drive and the program is in a C drive, okay? If you have everything just in the C drive, and I know Mac's different, I'm just trying to explain it the best way I can. If you have everything in the C drive, you're going to have everything in the same place. So whatever master folder your DJ music is under, you will have one virtual DJ folder there. That needs to be transferred over to the same spot on the new computer as it is on the old. For me, C and D. So for me to get that exactly the same, like my backup computer that I bought, it had a single drive. I split it into a C and a D. So now on that one, in D drive is my music. In that same folder as we have right here, I have the virtual DJ. So I moved both of these into the D drive, and then in the C drive where the program is at, under Documents, you then have virtual DJ folder here, and this is the one that has all your information for like plugins, skins, your database that covers your hot cues, everything. So you need to put this in the same spot in the new computer as the old one, and then it'll all transfer over. But all of those have to be sent to the new computer as is. So I hope that explains. I know it's slightly more difficult than that, but there you go. When I mixed out before the deck 1 would come to the end of the song, it would stop. Now it just spins even after the song is ended. I think there's a setting in there for stop play at end, if I'm correct. Hold on here. There's, just so you know, Virtual has a ridiculous amount of settings, in case you don't know. There's end of song warnings that it will start, the flashing that it does on your thing. You can set that time to where you can have it 30 seconds before, 10 seconds before, whatever. Those settings are up to you. Again, Virtual lets you do everything you want the way you want it. And I think there is a thing in here for end of song setting. Skins, end of song warning, split saying history, trigger. There's something in here for that, and I'm not sure where it's at. Again, it's not something that I've ever done, but check into it, and somewhere in there, I'm not going to take up a lot of time just looking at that, but something like that. And again, if you can't find some of this stuff, instead of waiting a month to answer, me to answer you on the thing, go to the Virtual DJ forum and type that in there, and someone at sure has answered the question along the line, and you can find it in there. David Roman says, somehow I turned off the feature in Virtual DJ that automatically mutes the cue to the channel that I loaded the new track on. Any ideas? Yeah, there is. It's in there. Again, that's someone, I'm guessing you're DJing without a controller, because that's not something you would want to do there. So you want the headphone cue to move over. Is that right? When you're talking about the cue, automatically use the cue to the new headphones. PFL. So PFL is pre-fader listen, is what that basically your headphone cues is called. PFL, pre-fader listen. Pre-fader listen on select, yes or no. I have it on no. So if you then load it, I'm pretty sure this is the one there. If it's on yes, that means when you switch to the new track, it should kick the headphones on. If I'm almost positive about the way that's the one for it. Yeah, right there. So this is the other thing that's kind of cool with Virtual DJ. I apologize that my brain's kind of all over the place. But if you hover over the thing, it will tell you right down here what it is. And that's basically what that says. Automatically switch the PFL when deck is selected. So that's the one that will switch the headphone cue to the side you want when it's loaded, not manually. I have it set on no because I want to do it when I want it to. But that's all you got to do. That's the thing that a lot of times is finding the terminology that the stuff is, because you think headphone cue, you're going to go in and type for cue, but that's actually called a pre-fader listen, and it's a PFL. So, Magizimo says, by the way, I wish you much success in your new venture. Thank you for your wisdom. Oh, yeah, you're welcome. I'm not going to leave this, but I do a lot in this world. God's blessed me with a lot of time and talents, and I just like to use them whenever I can, and I enjoy being creative. And I'm with the book, it's just giving me another outlet and stuff that I do, that I get to do this full time. And that's, I think, going to be the passion or the center point to the new stuff with the book, is helping people get to doing what they love full time. And that includes, advice, because I tell everybody, you want to chase your dream, don't be in debt, because being in debt takes so much away from you investing in your dream. So whatever you can do to get out of debt, or never get yourself into debt's the most important thing. Those of us who've lived any time, we've gotten ourselves in debt, but I've worked very hard in not being in debt for a long time. I've been out of debt for a long time, and I'm just not going to do it, because this allows me to keep doing the stuff I love. I'm able to sit down this afternoon and open up that spec program and start testing files to see what's what. I have that freedom to do that. I'm my own boss. If you guys saw a post that I did today on Facebook, it was a throwback on Facebook from 2009 where I said, back to the day job, frowny face. And I was like, I don't have to worry about that no more. I've been doing this full time for 11 years, 12 years, something like that. But I've been DJing since 87, and there's been times where I've had a job, day job, and then didn't have a day job, and had a day job and didn't have a day job. And this one, I just kind of stuck myself to going, I'm going to try to focus this even if I can't have things. And I did. And that's, again, what the book is about, is that passion we have in us to be creative. Those of us who are creative, you can't turn it off. So you've got to embrace it. You've got to handle it. And it may take you 10 years to get to a point where you're getting to live that life. But trust me, anybody who has walked away from stuff they don't love, there's a wealth. You can be poorer than you were before, but there's a wealth in that freedom that is worth way more. I can't begin to tell you that. So I'm sorry, I'm babbling there. Moving on here. I'm waiting for springtime, Wheelie Wednesday. You don't know, I also, one of the things that I've been riding motorcycles since I was a kid, and I ride and I post these Wheelie Wednesday pictures, and I'm supposed to be Memorial Day weekend back up in the mountains again, and I promise I will get new Wheelie Wednesday pictures if I can, instead of keep posting old ones. Today's one was old one from like 2 summers ago. I thought it was kind of cool. I'll post that. But if you follow me on social media, here's the easiest way to find me. Anywhere on social media for the DJ side is DJ Michael Joseph. So Facebook, it's I think it's DJ Michael Joseph 1 or 2, because I'm trying to get it all in everything else. Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, it's just DJ Michael Joseph. Facebook was the only one I couldn't get. But the creative side is the I Am MJ, because years ago when I was a vocal performer, my booking agent said, we've got to get away from the DJ thing so that they know you are a vocal performer. So that's when I went to the I Am MJ, because he would get me on stages with some pretty well-known acts, and they would go, who are you? And I'm like, hi, I'm MJ. I am MJ. And that's where the website iammj.com came to. And that's where the center of all the stuff I'm going to be doing. So the creative side is all I Am MJ. So Facebook, it's I Am MJFB. Twitter is I Am MJ TW. Instagram is IG. TikTok is TT. All of those are that way. And YouTube and all of that. So if you want to find each one of those, or you can just go to iamMJ.com, and they're all up there on the landing page. You can see them, but you can't access all of them yet because I've not opened up the creative or the book side yet. When it's released, then those will be open, but you'll be able to see how you can access both. And I'm kind of excited to see where it goes. I'm probably, and this is the trouble, I've said this 1,000 times with you guys, I'm not a people person. I'm really not. I'm really happy to sit here in the studio and just be by myself. And it's tough for me, but I think with some of the stuff I'm doing, like I'm talking to you tonight, encouraging you, I think I may try to do more on that end, on the creative side. So there'll be more videos, and I might let you into my world a little bit more. Because I was watching a video of this guy I watch online. He was talking about how most of his life he had things segmented. These friends stayed with these friends. He didn't introduce them to these friends, the friends that he had, because he competed in athletic competitions. So his athletic friends were different from his church friends, who were different from his, work friends. And he said that he really kept even his personality separate on all of those. And he said it really changed when he just decided to be very transparent about who he was. And I'm thinking that's maybe some of my frustration in life, is that I do segment so much of my life. I can't even begin to tell you, and I may start changing that in the future. I don't know. We'll see. It's difficult. Like I said, I've been doing this my whole life, so it's a weird thing to find an identity in something that very few people around you do, and that's the thing. It is what it is. So we have a couple minutes left. Any other questions? Virtual DJ using auto gain is okay if the track shows red clipping. Is it really clipping when virtual DJ raises the volume? Here's the thing. And again, some people disagree with this, and I don't care whether they disagree with me or not. There are two in the reds in today's digital world. It's not like the old analog days, okay? So if your main outs are not in the red, you're good. If your main outs get in the red, stop that. But if your insides bump into the red, those are internal channels, and you cannot max out a digital channel. It will not distort like an external channel going to a physical analog device. So if those center ones are up there, but they sound the same, it's okay to let it run that way. You're not hurting anything. But if those outside ones that are sending to the speakers are hot, stop that. They said in the red you're rocking. You're not. You're not rocking. But don't worry so much about the inner channels. It's not the same. And I've had some people argue with me about it, and then other people who know what it is going, that's just two totally separate things. They're not even in the same. They're not measured the same. Once it comes to digital and a digital signal and a powered signal. So there we go. How do you get the subfolders under iDJ Pool? They are there under iDJ Pool. I'll show you that real quick here. Virtual DJ zoomed. Moving this over. So if I go over here and go up to here, we're going online music and there. These are the ones they put in. I don't put these in. So these are the ones they put in. And if I offline these, what it's going to do is it's going to put it in here in this offline cache. So if I offline one from iDJ Pool, it will put it in here. But these are their curated lists that they put together and that are constantly updated. So the latest ones, the dance, the urban, the country, the Latin. If you're out DJing somewhere and you go, hey, I need something new in the dance world, you can do on that, and it will do that. And I believe there is one there to sort them. But those are all there from them, and I think that's kind of cool. Also, the same with Deezer. There are lists on Deezer that you can subscribe to. And if I go to the online music and go down to, I'm sorry, that's on Cloud Lists. Where's my Cloud Lists? Lists and stuff. And then Cloud Lists. There are, as you can see, I have different ones on here. This is iTunes Hot 100 Hip Hop. So this is iTunes each week updated, what they say is what. And you can see the number there, where they're at. In order, and there's are also ways that you can access that to see what's what, and you can subscribe to all of these through virtualdj.com, and it gives you the access to these things as you go there. Moving on down, we're almost out of time here. MJ, you're better off because today's world is so crazy. It is. People today have to make daily decisions about stuff that I did not have to think about when I was in high school, and it is. I have so much empathy for people growing up in this world. It's just changed so much and so fast. It's hard to even keep up with change. And that's one of the things I think with this I'm going to try to push is the fact that I have empathy, and I want to encourage you not to get down because there's so many people that get down and get suicidal, and they're getting down about stuff that it just doesn't matter what you think. What somebody else thinks. I've had people talk about me as DJing and this and that, and I'm like, why would I care? Somebody put out a video a couple years ago, and people kept sending me the video. You've got to do a rebuttal to this. It's Virtual DJ. He's saying all wrong things about it. And I'm just like, why do I have to rebuttal it? He's nothing to me. There's nothing about his life that I need to change anything in my life. And a lot of people look at that and go, he challenged me online or whatever, blah, blah, blah. That's the stuff that it's hard to learn that truly doesn't matter. It does not matter. And that's the thing that I kind of want to do there, encourage people. So we're at the top of the hour. Another great show. You guys freaking hung out with me the whole time. Oh, my word. You guys are awesome. Again, I'm going to try to do more. I'm going to at least try to give you one of the virtual DJs once a month. I'm back also on Mondays with Dan and John with our Monday Night Chat. There's always good things. We had a really good one the other night. Again, follow me on social medias with the DJ Michael Joseph or I'm MJ, whatever. And I post stuff all the time, especially in story mode on all of those. I post multiple stuff every day, including the Wheelie Wednesday pictures in story mode on Facebook and Instagram and all that stuff. So you can check all those out, all that kind of stuff. So that's about it for this week. Until next time, take care of yourselves. And is one of the most important things I always forget to tell you is don't forget to press play. Good night.